One trade, one signature, and the NFL was never the same again. At the time, it looked smart, safe, even boring. Front offices smiled. Fans trusted the plan. But one decision quietly rewrote the future of the league. Careers were flipped. Dynasties were born. Another franchise began a long fall. Years later, people still ask the same question. How did no one see this coming? It was a different NFL back then. Teams had their stars. Playoffs were predictable. Fans thought they knew the winners before the season even started. Front offices believed in stability. Change was slow. Trades happened, but rarely shook the league. The teams involved in this trade were both confident. One believed they were getting a future superstar. The other thought they were making a smart move to fill an immediate need. On paper, it made perfect sense. Coaches nodded. Analysts praised the deal. Headlines called it shrewd and logical. Fans barely blinked. Some cheered, others shrugged. It felt routine, just another move in a long offseason. Nobody imagined it would be remembered decades later. Nobody imagined the ripple effect. Even the players involved were calm. No drama, no controversy. It was all business. Everyone assumed it would work out. Mistakes? Rare. Regrets? Almost unheard of. And that's why this trade shocked the NFL. Because everything looked normal. Everything seemed safe. No red flags, no warning signs. Just a standard deal that seemed smart at the time. But sometimes, the simplest moves create the biggest storms. And this one quietly planted the seeds of chaos. A decision that would haunt teams, fans, and the league for years to come. Then, the trade happened. One team sent away a rising star, a player many thought would define their franchise. In return, they received draft picks and a veteran player. On paper, it looked balanced. Both sides felt like winners. The team giving up the star believed they were building for the future. They thought the draft picks could bring new talent. They trusted their scouts, their coaches, and their plan. Optimism was high. Fans nodded in approval. The team receiving the star, they felt immediate excitement. Finally, a player who could change everything. A leader, a difference maker. They imagined playoffs. They imagined championships. The office believed this was their missing piece. Everyone was confident. Analysts praised the deal. Headlines called it perfect and bold. There was a sense that this trade would be remembered for all the right reasons. No one saw the danger lurking beneath subtlety. No one could guess the storms it would create. For now, it was celebrated. A smart move, a clever calculation. But sometimes, even the smartest trades hide consequences that only time can reveal. The first season after the trade started with high hopes. Everyone expected big results, but small things began to feel off. Games that should have been easy suddenly became struggles. Plays that usually worked failed. The star player didn't shine as bright as expected. Missed opportunities piled up, one after another. The team looked confident on paper, but on the field, cracks were showing. Fans started noticing. They whispered in forums, in bars, at tailgates. Was this trade really the right move? Some blamed coaches, some blamed the new player. Others wondered if the team's management had made a huge mistake. Even analysts began to raise eyebrows. They pointed out the little mistakes that no one had expected. Missed tackles, bad throws, decisions that seemed strange in hindsight. It was subtle but noticeable. Yet optimism still lingered. Everyone wanted to believe it was just an adjustment period, that things would turn around. But the first warning signs were impossible to ignore. This is where doubt starts to creep in. What once looked perfect now feels shaky. The NFL is a league that punishes mistakes, and for this team, the first cracks were appearing. Fans, for the first time, started asking questions that wouldn't go away, and little did anyone know, those small early warning signs were just the beginning of something much bigger. Then came the turning point. It wasn't a single mistake, not a single game, but one moment changed everything. A game, a play, a performance, something that finally revealed the truth behind the trade. The star player showed flashes of brilliance, but it wasn't enough. Key mistakes cost the team crucial wins. A single loss turned into a pattern. The team that once felt unstoppable began to stumble. Fans' excitement turned into frustration. Analysts started to ask hard questions. What had gone wrong? Was the trade really worth it? Doubt spread like wildfire. It wasn't just about one bad season. It was a season that exposed weaknesses, a season that made everyone realize the trade wasn't the solution they hoped for. For the first time, regret set in. Front offices questioned their decision. Coaches wondered if they'd been blinded by optimism, and the league, quietly observing, knew this trade would be remembered, but not for the reasons anyone expected. From this moment on, the consequences became impossible to ignore. The path forward was no longer bright. It was uncertain, messy, and full of what-ifs. This was the moment the NFL started looking back and thinking, maybe this trade was a mistake that could never be undone. The consequences for team number one were brutal. What seemed like a smart move turned into years of regret. Seasons that should have been competitive ended in disappointment. Wins were rare, losses piled up. The team struggled to find its identity. Draft picks meant to rebuild the roster missed expectations. Scouting mistakes became glaring. Every season, fans questioned the front office's decisions. Analysts criticized management. The pressure grew heavier with each passing year. Trust between fans and the team started to crumble. Social media exploded with frustration. Ticket sales slowed. The stadium felt emptier. The excitement that once surrounded the franchise was gone. Even players felt it. Morale dropped. Team chemistry suffered. What should have been a turning point for success became a reminder of one bad decision. And it wasn't just the team on the field. The organization itself was haunted by what could have been. Every draft, every trade, every free agent signing was measured against that fateful deal. Years later, people still remember the frustration. Team number one's future was altered forever. What was meant to be a smart move became a warning. One trade, one moment, and the ripple effect lasted for years. While team number one struggled, team number two thrived. The trade gave them exactly what they needed. Wins came quickly. Seasons that once felt average turned into playoff runs. Fans cheered every week. Optimism became reality. A player or draft pick from the trade became legendary, someone who changed the course of the franchise. Every highlight, every game-winning play reminded fans why this trade mattered. Championships were within reach. Records were broken. The front office looked smart. Analysts praised their vision. Confidence and momentum built year after year. Meanwhile, the gap between the two teams became impossible to ignore. One franchise stumbled, the other soared. The contrast was embarrassing for the team that made the trade. Fans still talk about it today. Social media debates, documentaries, and analysis all celebrate team number two's success. That single trade reshaped their legacy. What seemed like a fair deal at first became a turning point. One team fell, one team rose, and the NFL learned a harsh lesson. A single decision can create heroes and villains. This trade didn't just affect the two teams, it shook the entire NFL. Front offices across the league took notice. Executives became more careful. Every decision, every trade, every draft pick was scrutinized more than ever. One mistake could no longer be dismissed. Coaches and managers developed new philosophies. Risky moves were weighed with extreme caution. Teams studied this trade as a case study, what to do and what never to do. Rules didn't change overnight, but the culture did. The league learned how one decision could ripple through seasons, changing careers and legacies. Today, teens fear repeating this mistake. Trades are debated endlessly. Analysts bring up this trade as a warning. Fans still remember it. It's a story told again and again, a cautionary tale about ambition, risk, and the fine line between brilliance and disaster. This trade didn't just become a headline, it became a lesson, a moment in NFL history that reshaped strategy and thinking. Every team now knows one decision can alter the course of an entire franchise. And the NFL? It will never forget the trade it wishes had never happened. Decades later, people still talk about this trade. Analysts debate it on TV, podcasts, and articles. Every angle is analyzed. Every what-if is questioned.
Fans still argue online. Social media threads light up every anniversary. For some, it's a source of frustration. For others, it's a lesson in patience, hope, and regret. The emotions are raw. The memories still sting. Every time the teams face each other, the trade comes up. Every highlight reel, every statistic reminds fans what was lost and what was gained. The pain never fully went away. It lingers in conversations, in documentaries, and in debates. It's a story that refuses to fade.
One trade, one decision, and the NFL and its fans are still feeling the impact today. It all came down to one decision, one moment, one mistake, one signature that changed everything. Some trades are bad, most are forgettable, but this one, it became history. It shaped careers, altered franchises, and left a mark the league will never erase. Fans still remember it, analysts still debate it, teams still study it. One trade, one moment, one decision, and the NFL will never forget it. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow fans, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story about the NFL's most unforgettable moments.